Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join me to talk about yet another new manager in the Championship. It feels like we've been here before. That's because we have many times. Although at least not at 11 p.m. in the evening like the last few firing announcements seem to be, or Sunday morning like Jonathan Woodgate. But we are here today, this evening, to talk about Nigel Pearson, who has just been announced as the new Bristol City boss until the end of the season. Now, I got everything prepared for this one this morning because we knew this was going to happen. We just didn't know when they were going to announce it, Bristol City. So presumably tied everything up and done press stuff and all that good old stuff. And we are ready to go. So this was last night. That is Ben Fisher of The Guardian. Nigel Pearson set to take charge at Bristol City. So we knew about this last night. However, we have just seen on the Bristol City website at 8:30 at night the actual announcement. Let me read from their statement here. Bristol City have announced Nigel Pearson as manager until the end of the season. Robins have agreed a deal until the end of May with the 57-year-old who will observe Tuesday evening's Sky Bet Championship match against Middlesbrough before officially taking charge ahead of Saturday's trip to Swansea. Nice easy couple of games there. Borough just outside the playoffs. Swansea challenging for automatic. Pearson, who has a wealth of managerial experience, including 2 spells with Leicester, leading them to the 13-14 Championship title, as well as Watford in the Premier League, will work with assistant head coaches Keith Downing and Paul Simpson. They were the guys brought in to help out Dean Holden, and they have outlasted Dean Holden, who is no longer in the Bristol City fold after his firing midweek, wasn't it, last week. City chairman John Lansdowne said, Nigel gives us the leadership and direction we need to lift the players' confidence and to turn around our form. Lift the players' confidence. Good for me. The initial appointment is until the end of the season when we will reassess the situation, hopefully with a view to the long term. However, the immediate priority for Nigel and the coaching team is to stop the current bad run and move us back up the table. City Chief Exec Mark Ashton, the ever popular Mark Ashton. Nigel is a highly respected and experienced manager with a proven track record of success. We're looking forward to welcome him to the club. Pearson will formally take over on Wednesday before conducting media interviews later that day. So, lots in there. In the main, the most important thing is the short-term nature of this. He's hired until May, very similar to Jonathan Woodgate at Bournemouth. Same type of deal. We're through the transfer window. There's not much of the season to go. I don't know, have Bristol City played 31? It's sort of about 15 or so games to go. And look, Bristol City, I mean, we'll look at the table and they're not. It would take quite the disaster for them to slide further towards the relegation zone. So it seems very much a stabilising type appointment with a review in the summer. Interesting, lots of sort of focusing in on the confidence of the players and getting out of this current bad run, which does feel very short-termist. But we know that there are pros and cons to the short-term appointment. It gives you some breathing space. It gives you some thinking time and room. And, of course, this extraordinary COVID season, not a lot of people have wanted to make big, long, far-reaching decisions, have they? So, given our roadmap news today, maybe it's sensible, maybe it's not. The proof's in the pudding, isn't it? We'll find out, won't we? There is the Pearson CV. So, there's a couple of caretaker jobs before that. West Brom. Do you know, I think I might have even seen one of his games at West Brom. Southampton as well. But first big job there, Leicester. And you're actually going to get 2 promotions with Leicester. The first one in that first run was from League One into the Championship. Look at that win percentage as well, 51.4% win percentage. Bit of a weird one. The first signs of him possibly being a little bit headstrong, which is allowed. But I think he fell out with Milan Mandaric, the owner at the time, and was allowed to go and then talk to Hull. Off he goes to Hull. I think that's Championship as well, after they've come down, possibly. I can't quite remember. And then Leicester change owners and they want Pearson back. Back he goes. And then I suppose this is his finest hour, isn't it? That 13-14 season where they get, I think it's 102 points. Is it the team basically that already has Mahrez, Vardy, Schmeichel, Drinkwater. I think there's one more, Morgan. There's quite a few players that end up winning the Championship 2 seasons later are in that team. So, in terms of Championship experience, he will join the likes of Daniel Farker, Mick McCarthy, Neil Warnock. Am I missing anyone? With a Championship promotion already on their CV. Now, we know how it worked out with Leicester. In the end, he went out with them near the bottom of the table. Great escape. Or did he go? I can't remember. I can't remember what point he actually goes. Anyway, he's gone. Claudio Ranieri's there. The next season, of course, they win the title with, and give the credit to whoever you want, in the main, Nigel Pearson's squad with a few additions. OH Leuven, I believe that's a Belgian team he does 56 games with. And then this odd, well, I suppose everything at Watford seems a bit odd under the Pozzos. Always have managers in for short lengths of time. They wanted that pick-up last season in the Premier League. It didn't work, but if you remember, he left like 1 game or 2 games towards the end of the season. I think Hayden Mullins did it at the end. And Watford could have stayed up on the last day. I think they were still in it going into the last game, but Pearson had gone then. Now, he's been linked with all and sundry since, as has Paul Kirk and Danny Cowley. Look, if you watch the channel, you know I've done about 10 videos this season. We probably are up to about 10 now, which is crazy. We can confirm that when we look at the table in a minute. But he's very experienced. Look at that. Nearly 500 games managed. 2 promotions with Leicester. A promotion from the Championship. I have not mentioned the 14-match run under Derby County under Mel Morris, which just did not work, did it? And I don't think it was ever going to work. So his last Championship experience, not a good one. So, as I say a lot here, if you get the Nigel Pearson from 13-14, happy days. If you get the Nigel Pearson who was in charge of Derby for 14 games, unhappy days. Who knows what we're going to get at Bristol City. The public perception of Nigel Pearson is that what's the kindest word I can use here? Is that he's a bit of a hard man. You see there, that's an article. Nigel Pearson was a bully and deserved to be sacked by Leicester City. I've got a picture of him being very hard against Mark Hughes and Brian Robson there. Try and dig out the Trevor Sinclair tackle as well. And of course, famously, did lose the plot a little bit at times at Leicester. That weird ostrich press conference. And he had that big argument with BBC's Pat Murphy. And then, I don't know what was going on with James MacArthur there on the sidelines, where he just kind of ends up rolling around and sort of goes to, touch his neck and then pulls away. All very weird. But those events were, in the main, 2015, around that sort of time. So read into that what you will. I just wanted to kind of say that when I've been talking to people about this hire, it's been, Pearson, he's this tough guy. He'll speak to authority how he wants. He'll take no prisoners. I don't know. Sometimes the caricature public perception is right. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes there's a big exaggeration. Sometimes there's a kernel of truth in it. And somewhere in between the black and the white exaggerations, in the grey area in the middle, lies the real guy. He's 57 years old now, and that was 6 years ago. So do we give him a pass? That was all I wanted to throw in there, the perception. So there is the league table. And you can see Bristol City down there in 15th. They are 10 points above the relegation zone with 15 games to go. They have 39 points. Your 10-year average to survive in the Championship is 45 points. So, and don't misquote me on this, according to the 10-year averages, it's very unlikely Bristol City would be relegated. The only circumstance would be if they were to pick up less than, or say if they pick up 6 points or less, and or the 10-year average is higher, goes higher than the 10-year average this year to survive. And that's 6 points from 15 games remaining. So, I mean, look, are they a 15th place team in the table? Probably not. Somewhere in the middle would be right. Feels a bit meh at Bristol City this season, where it felt like there was I know we had the streaky lead tag, but always felt with the new stand being built and, you know, the ground improvements, and then the recruitment that was good, and Brian and Webster and Bobby Reid, Lloyd, Kelly, Josh Brownhill, felt like they were selling and signing and growing it to a point where could they be like a Brentford or a Preston, recruit well to challenge the parachute clubs. Obviously, that's been better for Brentford than Preston, but I always kind of put Bristol City in that gap. I don't know whether it feels like have someone like a Barnsley overtaken them in those stakes. It's a big catchment area, a potential big club. I mean, obviously FFP and then 3 teams coming in with 45 million quid parachute payment makes it very hard. But I've always maintained it's a good job. It's a job that's worth having, and you know, I think Pearson will be very pleased to have it. I'm sure we'll get a regression to the mean because they're on a horrible run. You can see they're 6 straight defeats. I think it might even be one more behind that 6-game form chart. But as we've seen in the example of Cardiff and Mick McCarthy, okay, Cardiff are a year 2 parachute team and probably have a few more high caliber first teamers than Bristol City do. But you would expect just a new broom, a simplicity of instructions, and a move up the table towards the end of the season. And that essentially is what Pearson will be hoping will get him the job in the long term. Just move into that top half. You can see there only 3 points off 11th placed Millwall, and you know, even sort of I don't know, 16, 17, 18 points from the remaining 15 games. I think they could target 60 points, you know, without being totally unrealistic given their squad and where they are in the hierarchy of the league. So, Nigel Pearson in at Bristol City. I wanted to do my role of dishonour. I haven't written it down. So we have now had new managers in at Watford, at Bournemouth, at Cardiff, at Barnsley, at Bristol City, at Forest, at Derby, at Sheffield Wednesday twice. So he is the 9th new manager to come into the Championship this season. I have questions for you. I assume the majority of people that watch this will be Bristol City fans. So what I would like to know is, A, what do you think of the hire and of Pearson? Is he the right guy to step in here and work with Mark Ashton and in this current structure that they've got set up? The second question is to you, what do you think of doing a 6-month short-term thing and then looking in the summer? Is that smart or is that too short-termist? Let me know what you think in the comments. How do you see the rest of the season panning out? And going forward, what are the expectations for Bristol City? Because yes, there's a Backinson or a Semenyo in the squad now, but I don't see an Adam Webster, Josh Brownhill, Bobby Reid, big Lloyd Kelly, big sale going forward. So have they stagnated a little bit this season, and what are the expectations going forward? Obviously, like everybody in the Championship who's not in a relegation fight, they want to get up as high as they can and towards the playoffs. But realistically, say Nigel Pearson ends up there for 2.5, 3.5 years, what are the expectations? Let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully, we've managed to cover that with the annoying 24 hours between the first news and the final announcement. I was just about to go and watch TV with the missus in bed, so I've jumped out. So please, for my efforts, please just hit the thumbs up button and comment on what you think in terms of this hire. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and answer those questions I was asking for comment on, as in, is he the right guy? And what do you think of the 6 months and then think about it in the summer type business? Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will be back tomorrow with the Championship preview, where Nigel Pearson will be in attendance watching before taking over properly on Wednesday. So do get involved. Bristol City have been a good story for us, but feels like we talked about them a bit too much in terms of a bit of chaos in the summer, long time to replace Lee Johnson, and then in the end it was Dean Holden. That didn't last. So perhaps from a Bristol City fan's point of view, you don't want to be hearing from me for another couple of years about a managerial change. Obviously, we'll talk about your games each week, and you do want to hear that, don't you? But does feel like we need now a bit more stability and an upward trend at Bristol City. Let me know what you think in the comments, and that is my thoughts on, let me put the picture up again, Nigel Pearson named as Robin's boss. Nigel Pearson is the new Bristol City manager for 15 games, or maybe many, many, many more. Who knows? Thank you, everybody, for watching. Over and out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button, and to be notified every time we upload, ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.